Okay, wizards. Now, what are wizards, and what is the use case of it? Why, and what do we achieve by having this feature inside CRM? So, a wizard helps you to divide a very long form into series of screens. Now, when I say this term, experienced partners or advanced partners who are listening to this, they might have a question. Then why do we have uh, a layout rule, where we can manipulate what has to be displayed and um, what has to be done? So um, the difference between a layout rule and a wizard is layout rule gives you again a full form, a full layout, but it does not segregate yourself into screens, and we can trigger actions. Like if this is done, then you can notify a technician or a sales rep. You can also trigger actions of custom functions and all that. So I'll be showcasing you the differences on that. And so wizards typically are helpful when you want the users to complete a particular form, which can be a lead generation form or a contact form or even a deal. No, if you want to have a particular form to be displayed in a systematic sequence, no, and on the screen, you can use this wizard. Um, there are several steps involved in accomplishing something like this. And as I said, we can have buttons to invoke to next screen. And it also has a clear cut understanding. Say, for example, you are on a call and you are an insurance company, and you are collecting data with the customer, and all of a sudden the call gets disconnected and you're not able to reach the customer back. So in a normal CRM, until and unless you fill certain mandatory fields, you won't be in a position to save the record, right? So again, you need to wait till the time that you have an option to contact that particular lead, and no till the time until then the data that you have collected, you cannot save it because the mandatory fields information, you have missed it. The call got disconnected and you cannot save that form. But using wizards, you can actually draft save it as a draft, and you can wait again to get that right information from the customer, and again work on that particular lead, and fill out all the necessary information, and then save it as a good lead or a good recorded lead inside your CRM. So these are all the advantages of using a wizard in CRM. So the feature limits or availabilities is you can have totally 5 wizards for an organizational account or for one account of CRM. And among that, you can have 2 wizards per module on the enterprise version. And on the ultimate version, you can have 25 wizards created for per organization and 5 wizards per module. All right. Now let us dive into the workings of the wizard, of how to create a wizard and all that. So let me go into my product, my setup. All right. Now, before I dive into creating the wizard, so we need to ensure know what are the fields that are going to come into play and all that. So I created a new layout here under modules and fields. Under leads, I created a new layout called insurance, okay, to handle the insurance use case that I just told you. So, so here I have fields like what is the insurance for, what is the type of the insurance as pick list, and I also created whether it's going to be an existing insurance or a new insurance, and we also have is it for the car, is it for a healthcare insurance, is it for a automobile insurance. So I created subforms and all that. So you guys know how to do that based on previous day's training, right? So now I'm going to showcase you how to split this using wizards, how to correlate these forms, and how to manipulate more. with the data that we collect and all that. So using Wizard. So let me showcase that. So going back to my setup, you click on Wizards. All right. So I click on create a new wizard. It's going to ask me the name of the wizard. So let's say insurance process. Select leads. And I'm going to also select the layout. So standard. I'm sorry, insurance. Okay, so this is a wizard builder. All right. So you need to double click on the screen to start building the wizard. All right. So what do you want to showcase your sales guys on screen one? So you're going to split that layout into different sections of screens. Okay. So screen one. So what is that you want to showcase? Screen one's name will not be displayed onto your there. So let me have the screen name. So let's say personal details. And the segment title is or contact info. All right, so I'm going to drag and drop in fields. So first name, last name, and phone number, mobile, email, and what is the insurance he wants to take for, and what is the insurance type. All right. Now, this is my first screen that I'm setting up. So this is what the first screen, one moment I activate the wizard, this is what the user would see. Okay, so I can have buttons created here. So I'm going to link up a new screen. So when I'm creating a button, the features that we have here is whether I want to save a record, save it to a record, I want to push it to my next screen. All right. So I'm going to link up a screen here. So this is just point out an arrow. You need to double click. So you can here just point it down and double click. So you get to have screen two. Sorry. All right. And you're going to name that screen. Car insurance. And you can bring in the subform that I already created for car insurance here. All right. And again, I can have a button, or I could say I can utilize this button to be saving the data inside my CRM. So I'll say save and use this button to save the record. So I enable this. So you also have an option to choose styles. So I can have it as a curved button with green color on that for the save. And on the actions, as I said, what can I do? So I can trigger out an email notification if this form is filled. I can trigger out an email notification. I can create an email notification. So I can trigger out a manager's notification and associate that notification email here. I can also raise a webhook. So webhooks here, you can actually, as I said, you can get the data from third-party applications or post data, or you can also trigger out API calls and auth tokens. So in Chennai, we are recently facing COVID-19 issues, right? So we did this wizard setup for the Greater Chennai Corporation to track our public tractions for who is infected with COVID virus and all that. So where we want to get an authentication or an OTP token from the public to track the phone numbers. So we did a API call or a token wherein it contacts their phone number and raise an OTP number to them. They have to communicate that OTP number to us verbally, and we authenticate that user. So if he's complaining about COVID-19 issue, so this is actually done for Chennai Corporation guys, and using this particular feature. So we can use those webhooks for OTP generations or any kind of data calculation. So if you want to post this data into third-party applications, or you want to fetch data from a third-party application and append it here, you can use these widgets. The detailed training on widgets, functions, and all that for partners who are not aware of it. We are planning to launch a developer training online. It's not a free training though, but it's yet to be in the planning. So once we do that, you can register for that, and you can schedule a training with us and do that. And we are still in the planning phase. We'll keep you posted on that, and so that you could learn all these. So having said, similarly goes in for the custom functions to write custom scripts and all that. So this is not available inside the validation rules, right? So or sending out an email trigger or a webhook or a custom. So that's one major difference that I want to tell it now. And all right, now clicking on done. So we just created a form and a screen. But if I have to have another buttons or another conditions, I can do it. I'll show you. So I'm going back to my first screen where I'm going to name this button here. So it links up. So I can also have one more button based on the condition. So let me name it. I'll say car. Button 2 is health insurance. So let me name it as health. But I want to showcase this button only when a condition matches. So the condition is what is the type of the insurance. So I have a pick list here. If that condition matches, only then the health insurance should appear. Only then the health insurance tab or the screen or the option should appear, or this button should appear. Okay, so how can I do that? So I have an option like always show or hide a button. When I choose hide a button, this is where I can mention the condition. So I will say insurance type is, insurance for is health, save. So once I fill up this first screen, and if I select the insurance type is for health, only then this button would appear. Okay, so I will also style this button into a different color. All right, done. And I'm going to save this wizard. Save. All right, so the contact button is not linked. New screen. I will add I have this form here and add a button which will make it as a save button. Save. View style is green, curved, done. All right. Now save the wizard. Wizard got saved. Now let's see how it's going to be in action. So I'm going back to my leads. I'm going to generate a new lead with the help of wizard. So how am I going to select this wizard is to just click on this drop down. You will see these are layouts. This is what a wizard is. We are planning to have the naming convention of wizard there. So it's, as I said, these features are not yet fully released. Okay. So when I click on insurance wizard, this is how the entire layout would look like. So I need to fill out this first screen here. So all right. So I fill out all the screen. If you see here, I could select the type. All right. So it gets hidden up when I choose health. So you can choose what you want to choose and it will get appeared here. The car is getting appeared. So I can click on this and then I fill in all the details about the car, the make, the purchase date, and if you want to add something, you can keep adding and you save the record. All right. So likewise, you can manipulate the data of on this or the screens, no. And even if I have to save this record, I'll show you how these records are partially saved. Let me go back and create a new one. So here we have the option called save as draft. So probably I didn't get the phone number or I didn't get any other details. So those are getting saved as drafts. So as I said, you miss a phone call or when you're speaking to the customer, the call got disconnected, or you're not able to fill out the entire form. There is some basic details. So you save it for future reference. So these saved records are getting listed under leads. Click on this ellipsis icon. You'll have something called as drafts, where you could see all those unsaved or unfilled in improper records from this list. All right. So again, you click on this, the wizard gets continued, and you fill out all the form, and you can fill it out and save a record. All right, so that was all about wizards, guys. Hope it was interesting enough for you. So as I said, we are enhancing features within whatever is explained to you. So partners who don't have access to beta features or 2020 features, please, you can raise a mail to partner-support and from your registered Zoho accounts, and we will grant you access. And then you can try testing it out. You can give in your suggestions, feedbacks on all these 2020 features. We are happy to get your suggestions. Most of our partners have access. New and fresh partners, you can raise requests to have access on these 2020 features. All right. So what are the features that we saw today was market attribution, pipeline. So we saw market attribution, segmentations, pipelines, wizards, and web forms and A/B testing in it. And the other features will be handled by Chris. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, Sandeep. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Chris. So I'm just going to transfer the session back to you.
All right. Thank you.
Is there anything left from my side? I believe I covered all the features, right?
Yeah, Sandeep.
All right,
yes.
Chris. I just want to get
now we have to continue with the Okay, that was a
Uh,
fantastic session.
Thank you.
So right now, our partners, they feel like all the plates in front of them are like completely filled. Okay.
Yeah, it's too
Still,
much to
we
digest,
have.
partners. I know that. Too much to digest, too much to take it forward. But as I said, guys, we will be uploading these videos to you so that you could take your own time to go through features that you didn't understand properly. You can go through those videos again and again until June 30th. So we'll be having those videos onto your LMS portal till June 30th, wherein if you have any doubts or any concerns, you can go through those videos. I also understand that there are few partners for who have raised questions that few topics have not been covered, like territory management and GDPR. I'm so sorry, guys. Uh, Due to lack of time constraints, we need to end up some basic features or important features. So we took 2020 features to be as important so that everybody are aware of what features are going to be released, so that you can also speak to your customers when you do sales pitch. If there are any such requirements, you will be in a position to correlate and address them using those 2020 features. And once the features are getting released, you are not new to them, you're not no afraid about those 2020 features, so you will have some understanding what these features does. So that's the reason why we are focusing more of an attention to these 2020 features rather than the existing features what is there, like territory management, GDPR, and other features that we might miss. Or so we don't really intend to miss those features. Just because we have very less time constraints, we are just trying to focus more on important features. That's the real deal. And again, for partners who want to have training on those specific features like territory management and GDPR, please send us a mail. We will definitely schedule a separate demo or a meeting, online meeting, wherein we could explain you those. All right. So you need not worry. We are always here to support you. The training team is always there to support you, and our support team is there. So please feel free to get in touch with us. So having said all that, let me just quickly transfer the session to Chris.
All right, Sandeep, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, Chris.
Hmm.
Loud and clear.
Okay. And all right, all right. Let me share my screen. All right. So in the question section, I saw Karan has been asking for what is the reason we have approval process and review process. We have blueprints. That is the question. So I will have that explained. Okay, because after this C3 feature, one of the 2020 feature, I will be, explaining you about review process. In that, during that time, I will let you know what is the difference between blueprint approval process and the review process. Okay. So that was a wide explanation, and just have covered a lot of features. Like I guess more than 5 2020 features, and by now I'm pretty much sure. If you come across any of these features in near future, you will have some idea, and definitely you can connect the dots and you can figure out what is the basic logic behind this, and what you can do with this particular feature. All right. And frequently I'm been people have been asking where can I get access to these features, and where can I have the complete list of features, and like you guys past partners people will be having a separate access for the partner store access, where you have a section called demo accounts. Under the demo accounts, under your register partner email address, we would have provided the complementary licenses as well. Okay. In that complementary license, you would have accessed Zogo CRM. You can add that particular email address under the demo account. Okay, so that will be added in our database, in the developers database. So whenever we release a feature, we will add these partner accounts as well. Okay, so most of the partners will have access to the latest features, automatically, since they've been added in the demo account section in your partner store. So that answers your question. All right. So let me move forward with this feature, one of the a very important feature of 2020. All right. So this is named orchestration in the beginning. Okay. Since we have a specific product called Zogo Orchestly, we just don't want to confuse the customers as well as the partners with Orchestly and orchestration. So basically, in CRM, in the Zogo environment, if any particular feature has the same name, people will, imagine that that particular app has been integrated with CRM. It's not like that. For example, we have advanced analytics, and we have an direct integration with analytics. Likewise, we have Orchestly, but the orchestration what we are referring to is completely different. Okay, but the processes are same, but Orchestly is a bit more, where you can configure a complete flow and having integrated with multiple third-party and Zogo environment applications. So that is completely different. But orchestration here in Zogo CRM is somewhat similar idea, but the complexity is pretty much less as comparing with Orchestly. All right. So we came up with this idea, and we renamed the feature name as C3. It stands for Customer Command Center. Okay. So first of all, you have to understand why we have this feature. Okay. So let me jump on to the next slide. So what is C3? Okay. So C3 is an online replica of your business process. Okay. So you have workflows and blueprints, approval process, and a lot of other automation tools to streamline your process, but still having a feature like this, what it's actually it's going to do. Okay. Even though having all these automation tools, it needs all these automation tools need a specific trigger point where some user or some kind of manual intervention is there, right? So and for example, if it is going to be workflow, it is going to be within the module, right? Or you can do one or two updates in the other module. That's it. Okay, but it's not a kind of a chain process. It's not a kind of a sequence of action. That is, there is no journey in this. Correct. So we thought, we have to create kind of a journey where a customer traveling from, right from the lead, and he's getting converted as a contact. And once the salesperson identifies this contact is going to be a potential customer, and he's going to do business with us, that is the point we decide, and we convert, we assign him a deal, we create a deal. All right. And after the deal conversion stages and everything goes on, we sell the product, and he becomes a potential customer as well as a revenue giving deal. And then we send the invoice, and it goes on, right? This is a journey. So in orchestration, you can configure this journey. Okay, you can configure all this journey like a flow chart. Okay, and you can have the states, and you can have the transition, and what are the action needs to be executed during this when it is in a particular state, and during the transition, what sort of action need to be executed. All these things can be done in orchestration. Okay, you can link the modules from one to another. For example, I have entered a lead, okay, and I'm converting a lead to a contact, okay. So nobody is going to enter any information, just you're converting it. So once it gets converted, some set of action needs to be executed, right? So the record is going to just convert it, and it's going to sit in contact module. And now in orchestration, I'm going to configure in a way where a set of action needs to be executed if the record is stays still in the contact module. So likewise, I can link across the Zoho CRM, whatever the modules I have. All right. So this will lead to a lot of lead nurturing and upselling process, and a lot of review also. You can drill down information as per the business use cases. Okay. So that is all about C3. Okay. So let me jump on to the next slide. So usually, what are the roadblocks we have during the journey of a customer from a lead to a potential customer and assigning a deal and converting and selling him a product? What are the roadblocks we have? First thing is the teams, right? So yes, end of the day, without a team, like you cannot have a success or something like that. But the scenario is when there is a situation where you have to involve multiple teams, definitely there is going to be some kind of time delays. Somebody is going to forget something, right? Even though if I have a lot of automation and a lot of tools to power my business, a lot of smart way, but still there is some kind of you know uh, delay or some kind of blockage is there, right? Because I'm still involving some kind of manual work, correct? So that is a very huge blockage. And I am definitely, if it's going to be a journey, like the customer is going to be a lead and contact deal, and it's going to be like 4 or 5 stages. So I can scale the customer's journey here, right? So where the customer is going to start and how is going to come into my business, I know that. And what I'm going to do for the customer, I'm going to explain about my business, what I have, so it's completely scalable, and it's a kind of a repeated process. And I'm going to do the same thing again and again with the same set of people, what I, like who's working for my organization, correct? So it is a repeated process, and I'm wasting a lot of time and effort here. So that is a blockage again. And connecting with various touch points. So as like if you would have listened completely while Sandeep is taking about the touch points in marketing attribution, after all the journey, that one single call would have decided whether this customer is going to buy this product or not. That one single email would have decided whether this customer is going to buy this product or not. So there is a lot of even that it is a blockage because somebody has to do that, correct? So to overcome all this blockage, what we came across, like what we came up with is like this particular feature orchestration for newly, like it is renamed as C3, that is Customer Command Center. Okay, so how I'm going to achieve all these requirements. So let me just show you that. Before that, so this should be pretty much similar to blueprints. And as I told you before in the beginning, it is pretty much similar to Orchestly, and it is pretty much similar to Zogo Flow, right? So what this is going to do? So blueprint is a set of a sequence of like of a process, following up a strict process by having the primary field as a pick list, correct? In a module. The main point to be noted is in a module. Okay. So it is very module specific. Blueprint is very module specific. So C3 is not like that. So there is a very huge difference between C3 and Blueprint. And Orchestly, it is a kind of a step-by-step manner where you can attain complex integration between other Zogo products as well as the other third-party integrations. And Zogo Flow, it's completely different. So there is a lot of difference between C3, Blueprints, Orchestly, and Flow. So what is C3 is going to do is like, you will get a deep understanding of your business, and you're going to configure in a way where, where the journey starts, as well as the actions is also going to get executed across the modules inside your CRM. So let me show you why C3 is going to be very much important. So as I told you before, like a set of process can be designed, and once you came up to know the complete journey of the customer, like you can avoid all those roadblocks, and once you avoid all these roadblocks, you can gain a lot of productivity, and there won't be any discontinuity in between if you have C3. So that is the reason we have C3, and you can guide your team what they have to do, and like a lot of automation work is being configured inside C3. And other benefits are behind you can have a well defined process, and if you have a very huge customer journey, for example, the real time scenario. Okay, one of my colleagues recently applied for a home loan in a bank, and it took like around they say it will be approved in 15 days, but what happened is like it took around 90 days to get the approval for his loan, and by that time like the one he was willing to buy, that like that already sold out, and someone else bought that bought the property. Okay, so in process, here the complex is the bank, because they have a very complex situation. They have a very long journey. Like it shouldn't be like that. So it should be if they have a right structure flow of process, then they will be able to identify the potential customer, and they can do the business very nicely. Okay, so there is one example. So in Orchestly, if there is a journey where it involves more than it's going to be pretty much a very long journey for a customer nurtured. In such case, you can use a lot of automation can be done, and it is completely scalable, and it's not it might be very easy while listening to all these all these content, but the thing is, once you define the process, the only one thing what you have to remember is you have to remember the process. Apart from that, everything is automatic. So let me show you how it is going to look alike. So this is like this C3 feature is pretty much similar to Blueprint. Okay, blueprints again, I would like to stress on this. Blueprints are again it's module specific, whereas C3 is it's going to link all the modules in your CRM, and it's going to be completely automatic, and you can execute a lot of set of action. And these are the feature limits we have in C3. So in a process, you can have 3 process for enterprise and 5 process for ultimate edition. So for every process, we are providing versions. In email templates, you would have seen this versioning, correct? So initially, you would have come up with an email template, and later you would have modified some changes. Okay, so when you modify some changes and you update, try to save that email template, what will happen is that will be saved as the version 2, right? The same kind of similarity here in C3. Whenever you change the process, you will have a separate track. Okay, so where we have a limitation the limitation is you can have 5 process 5 process changes. There is 5 different versions for a process. Okay, and another major thing you have to remember here in C3 is only one process can be active. All right, and each inside the inside each and every process, you can have up to 50 states and up to 80 transitions. So just imagine. Okay, so hope you should be able to remember the slides which I showed you for blueprint, right? I showed you the design of blueprint where the first one is the state and the in between a kind of a plus symbol, right? That is a transition, correct? So here in C3 you can have 50 states and up to 80 transitions. So how would let's imagine how it's going to be, like how it's going to look like. So this is how it looked like. So this it is a loan approval process. Okay, let's see how it's going to start. The same like blueprint. Okay, you have a start point where the application will be submitted through online or something like that, through a web form or something like that, and it comes to waiting. Okay, once it has been approved manually by any particular person, all these transition, okay, this small transition, these are states, these are transition. When they are reaching all these points, we can have certain set of actions executed. So this can be, like these can be, these two states can be in one module, and these two states can be happening in another module, right? So here, the only the manual intention is the people will be just converting a lead to a contact, and if the record, for example, a user, for example, the customer A, okay, customer A have filled in the form, and it has reached the lead module, and the user converted to contact. Okay, so it goes to document verification. All right, it's in the it's in the module 2. All right, during that state, you can have a set of automation happening in the in the background. Okay, so likewise, it goes like a chain. All right, so once everything is verified, you can take it to the loan approval, and it goes to the front processing initiation. Likewise, it just keeps on going, and multiple modules are involved in this. Okay, finally, whether the loan is settled or the loan is closed or the loan is sanctioned, or the loan is getting rejected, everything. Okay, so it's a complete process. If that specific bank is following up this kind of features, if they have this kind of features or process, definitely my colleague would have came through with that loan, and he would have bought his dream home. Because of that faulty process, they are not able to finish up their work, and they took a long time. So here, I know my customer, okay, and I know his journey, how he's going to travel, and to whom I'm going to provide the loan, to whom I'm going to reject the loan. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to structure. I'm going to give a structure, and I'm going to give a strict procedure where I'm going to automate these all actions, and I'm going to enforce my users to follow this process. All right. So that is how orchestration, is helpful to come up with, to achieve a complex business use case. So let's see how it works in inside Zogo CRM. Let's see a live demo. Okay. So as of now, Sandeep, is my audio, video, is everything okay? My screen share?
Yes, Chris. Everything is good.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Sundar. Okay, let me go to my test account. So this is my test account. Here I have the C3 process. So it comes under the process management. All right. So this is the one which I have already created. Okay. So I have given the name like loan processing. Okay. So all right. This is a very simple one. So let me just try creating a new one so that you will have a better idea. So I'm going to create a journey. Okay. I'm going to give the name as home loan. Okay, I'm going to create a state. Click on it. I'm going to give as lead from web form. Okay, and I'm going to choose the module. So see here in C3, you have option to choose modules. Okay, so that is the main difference. If it is going to be, it is similar like Blueprint, but blueprints are module specific. Okay, you can streamline the process in one single module. But in C3, you can streamline the process across Zogos, across the modules inside your Zogos CRM account. I'm going to choose leads, save it, and it's been created. So here I can give a transition like leads, going to select a trigger creation of lead. So when the lead has been created, and I'm going to choose any layout, okay, and now this is the state, okay, this is the transition. So the state is where the lead module is, and the transition is I'm like when the lead has been created, okay. Now I'm going to say, associate a set of actions. So when the lead is getting created, I can do a field update. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to update lead source, and I can give a name like management or Facebook. It's completely based on how the lead is getting generated. I'm going to give like lead source. I have that already. Save and associate. Okay. So likewise, the same set of action, whatever we had for the blueprints, the workflow rules, and approval process assignment rules, all those actions can be, associated to this transition. Okay. Now I'm going to add another state. So this state is converted as a contact. I'm going to choose contacts module. So see how I'm trying to connect two different modules. I'm linking two different modules, okay? So I'm just going to leave it over here, and I'm going to associate this transition, lead converted, okay? So I'm going to choose the trigger, convert of a lead, okay? That is the trigger here. So because when the lead is here in the lead module, and when I convert, this transition appears, all right? So I can also have set deadlines for this. I can also, I can also have a set of actions. So let me have, email notification. I can choose the recipients, and I'm going to notify my user, and I'm going to notify the email the customer as well as my manager. I'm going to choose a template. So I'm just going to send in a welcome email. All right. I already did it. Just did that. Okay. So I'm going to save. Let me give the name. Welcome email. All right. And now I can add another state, and I'm going to name it as create a deal. This transition name is this uh, state name is deal creation. Okay. Oops. All right. So I'm going to choose the deal module. Save. And again, I can choose a set of action. So here now I'm going to update, like I can have an update field, or I can have a task created automatically. So I'm going to give a follow-up task. And I can have, how many days it should get triggered, and I can have the status and like priority, and I can also have to whom this task needs to be associated. I'm going to associate to John Michael, and I will notify the assignee. I will remind the assignee, and even I can, when I have to remember it, to email or to the pop-up. Okay, so I can save and associate. Okay, so Sandeep, are you about to say something? All right. Let me
No,
check
no,
if there
Chris,
is any
carry on,
update.
carry on.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. So here I have all these transition, and I'm just going to give us create a lead, create deal creation, and I'm going to choose creation of record. I'm going to save it, and I can also have this action configured. So connectivity. So how I'm going to connect all this transition. Okay. So if I click here, like if I click here, I can connect it by the lead is getting converted as a contact. So that is how I'm going to connect the first state and the second state, the first module and the second module. Okay. So that is connectivity. And if you want, you can add some logs also. All right. Uh, you know, uh, these logs will be available in the timeline. Okay, that is pretty much amazing feature, because since we are like a lot of process automation is happening in the backend, okay, where without any manual intervention. So you should be always you need to be aware that what is happening in the backend. So you can have a a customized, a compact way where you can fill in the details of this transition over here. And when this transition happens in the backend, you can go and check in the timeline, and this information will be displayed over there. So that is the benefit of having a log. So here I'm just going to give it as email is sent, and lead is converted. That's it. All right. And you can also, the merge tags are available here. You can use it. So I have done the connectivity, actions, transition information. That's fine. And here, let me check the connectivity here. So here, deal creation, and that's it. Okay. So this is a very simple flow where I have connected three modules: leads, contacts, and deals. So whenever a lead is being created, automatically a set of action is going to execute it. It will be executed, and during the time it is in, for example, the time spent by a customer in the lead module, uh, even that time I can have a set of action executed, and when the lead is getting converted, even that time I will have a set of actions executed. And during the time the customer spend in the contact module, I can have a set of action executed. And I'm just trying to I'm also having this transition connected through the connectivity, and the time he spent as a like in the deal, whether the deal is closed or won or whatever, the time it's in deal module, I can have a set of action executed. So there is no like there is no discontinuity here, right? There is a set of continuous action, a sequence of actions performed, just it is getting updated. Okay, it's getting updated automatically. The only thing is, the user have to perform it. You have to just take care of the customer. Just want, if you want to convert it. That's it. So rest everything is automation. It's completely it's automation. And if you started using a custom function and webhook calls and all, you can use it in a whole different range. Okay. So what I can do is, like, finally I can publish this. Okay. So when I publish this, this will be served as the version 1. Okay. So let's see how it is going to get created. So this process is published. Okay. So this is how it travels. Okay. Let's see whether how it's going to work. So just deactivate the existing one, and let me see whether how it's getting this C3 is implemented. So I'm going to create a new lead, going to name it as C3 test. So we will have a better understanding. Okay. I'm going to save, click on save. It will take some time for the process to get implemented into this particular lead because still it's in we have launched in most of the CRM's account, but still this need a lot of work to be redone. So it's still in kind of a testing level. So it will take some time. Okay, let me show how the journey is going to start. And one more main thing here you know in this C3 is you will have a separate tab for C3 where you can check which records have involved they are involved in this C3 function. Okay, let me show you that. See, I have a separate tab. So from here, I will be able to identify which record entered into this process. Okay, so here I can see there is a record, loan processing. There is a record entered into this. So I can see another record entered, and it is associated with this loan processing. There is another record that is also associated with this loan processing. So let me see how long it takes to enter this process. So you can check the timeline in the meantime. So if I'm having this okay, it's taking some time. So let me just start with the journey. Okay, so I'm just going to convert this lead. So while converting, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to create a deal and a contact. I'm going to give an amount like this. Okay. Going to click on convert. Let me check the module in the tab. They're got entered. So see, the record moved from converted as contract through lead converted transition of the C3 journey called home loan. Okay, and a follow-up task has been created. So the only action what the user did is the user just tried to convert from lead to contact. Okay, but all the set of action which has been configured in the process that has been executed manually without any field update, without any trigger point. So the only trigger here is converting the lead from to contact. That's it. So rest everything is taken care by C3. So now if I go and check in the C3 module, I will have this field, this information updated over here. Okay, so here I have an option to switch to the other process. Let me switch to the other process. So see, I have this deal creation. So it will show, okay, this particular record has involved in this particular process. To have that track, we have this specific module. So that is the reason of having C3 module. Okay, you can also see the reports for orchestration. Okay, so I mean like C3 reports. If I go click here, I view the reports. I can see how many records have involved in this stages and what happened. Actually, one lead has been created and one lead has been converted and one deal has been created. So all those information I will have, since everything is like in the number one, like you have the the charts like this, if there is multiple records involved in this, it would really look like really good, and you can have the the complete variation. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, and if you if you want to check the what are the records which are going through this particular C3 process, this automation, you can go and check in the C3 module. That will appear when you create the first module, and when the record gets into the process, automatically C3 module will be created in the backend, and you can access it. So that is all about C3. Okay, so to be very simple to understand in a very simple way, C3 is linking with all the other modules in Zogo CRM, and as per the normal automation follows that. That's it. Okay, and now I'm moving to review process. Okay, so somebody asked, I guess Karan asked, what is the difference between approval process and what is the difference between blueprints? Okay, so approval process is again based on any particular field, correct? So you get approval if you will give the criteria, and set of action will be updated, correct? That's all. But having an approval process, again, the same record needs to enter into the approval process, means the same criteria needs to be matched again, correct? That is completely different. But review process is completely different. Okay, there is no way relation between review process and approval process. Okay, review process is something which is having the unique set of data. All right, for example, to avoid a lot of errorness, we have this review process. All right, so let me I will have that clearly explained in the slides. So let me jump on to the review process. And before jumping into the review process, these are the feature limitation for C3. Okay, these number of set of actions can be executed. These things will not be available in the documents. We have not yet released, but I gathered these documents from my development team. If you want, you guys can take a screenshot of it, or else this thing will be available in the recording also as well. Okay. So let's move on to review process. So review process is reviewing your information, the information inside your Zogo CRM. Okay, so reviewing it manually by field by field. For example, let's take even this this particular business use case scenario, like if it is going to be visa approval. Okay, when I applied for this Schengen visa, okay, to enter into Europe, they have a specific visa called Schengen visa. It will take around, it's based on every country. Okay, it will take around 15 to 25 days. Okay, so you have while applying for any visa, okay, while applying, you have to fill in a form that is really tedious for for an applicant. Okay, and if you make a mistake, the form never gets submitted. You have to, until you fill in the right information, you have to redo the job. Okay, so let's think such kind of, just imagine. Okay, just for an example, I gave that idea of visa application. All right, so you have to fill in the information. If you're not gathering the right information, you will be sent back again until you get the right information. Here in the review process, you have an option to send the same record back to the reviewed state, and the applicant has to fill in the information again, and that will be reviewed. And once the reviewer approves it, it goes to the next set of it goes to the next stage. So that's how review process is working. We have came up with this particular feature. All right, so you can review field-wise verification. You can do field-wise verification. So as I told you, this is the use case, like visa application in any embassy, or personal loan, applying a personal loan in any bank. So these are the use cases you can just imagine. All right. So what are the order of execution we have in review process? Okay. So for example, let's say I'm getting this visa applications or these loan application information or these loan application forms are are getting updated through web form. Okay, so that will go for the web approval. Once that has been approved, I will go for the validation point. Okay, I have to check the name, email address, and their residential address. And if it is going to be in a visa application process, I have to check the passport and I have to check the previous travel history. Okay, there is a lot of validation. After that, the review process kicks in. And once the review process kicks in, everything is okay. Then it goes to approval process. Then if you want any kind of automation needs to be configured, you can have that configured. So this is the order of execution. This is how it works in review process. You can have this configured everything inside the review process itself. So another main thing that you have to note is, uh, you
Uh,
know, uh, in yes,
Chris, sorry to interrupt. Can you just take a minute break?
break. Yeah, I will finish up with,
Review
in
process
the middle
and
of the
then.
feature. Yeah, I will finish up with the review process and I will give a 15 minutes break because I have to restart from the beginning if I break
Yeah,
here.
I understand. Understand. Just yeah, let's finish up review process and then. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Okay, all right. Sorry, no problem. So the main thing we have here, we have to notice in the review process, we have to, this review process is applicable only for the records that is being submitted through web form, API, and the records that is coming into your CRM through the portal and through any integration with other applications. Okay, so let's check how this review process is going to work. And this is the feature availability for review process. It's like the limits in the enterprise edition is 5 review process per module. Okay, and in the ultimate you have 10 review process per module. Okay, so that is a limitation. Another main point to be remembered is uh, you know uh, you can the review process can be configured to a set of fields. Okay, so those fields are the single line field, multi-line fields, date, phone, email number, and the number field, currency field, and long integer, URL, and decimal fields. Okay, all these fields are only supported, and you can have these fields verified for a better, unification and avoid the errorness in the data. All right, so now let's jump on to the demo, how it's going to work inside the Zogo CRM. All right, so here comes the review process. Okay, so in the meantime, let's have a small activity. Okay, so people, I need your support, all the partners. Okay, now come on, look into the screen. All right, so what you guys need to do is like, I have this web form or this site you would have already visited, I guess. Okay, so go to this site. Let's see how many people are filling in the information. So everybody, the people who are listening to me, just fill in the, there is a web form in the contacts module. Sorry, there is a web form in the contact page. Okay, the form name is contact us. All right, I need, someone. I need a few set of people to fill in the form. Okay, so this is the site address zpst.zogosites.com. All right, and just fill in the details and let's see how many of them are filling in for visa application. Let's see. I'm going to grant visas today. All right, so hope you guys took a note of it. In the meantime, I will myself see, I have asked some people to do that. Let me just find out how many of them are doing it. I have this visitor tracking enabled. So see, as like yesterday, around 60 people. The number, the count keep going on. It's good. All right, thank you. Good response, guys. So, all right. In the meantime, I will also have this filled so that the people who are looking at the screen can have a better idea. So when you go to the contact page, here is the form. Okay, you can fill in the details. Okay, I'm going to fill in the details here. Let me give it as Chris, and the email is Chris at visa.com, and the phone number is 9789 something, and I'm going to give the date of birth. I'm born today. Okay, and I'm going to fill in the information, company information as Yogo partner. Okay, so once you fill in this form, just click on submit. All right, and that will be really fair enough for me. And in the meanwhile, I will just have this activated also. This is the review process which I have activated already. I have created already. Okay, so click on submit. Okay, so this is how the review process looks like. Okay, again, you will have a trigger point. You can you can configure, like if it is going to be based on a criteria, or you can have it for all records. I have just kept it for all records. And what are the fields that needs to be reviewed? I have chosen email, company, and date of birth and phone number. And here you can give a rule, okay, based on a criteria. If it is going to be, if the country is India, this will be approved by a specific set of person. If the country is, United Kingdom, it will be approved by a set of person. If the country is, if the country is Germany, it will be approved by a specific set of person. Okay. Likewise, based on the criteria, you can, you can this criteria. This sub criteria is for to assign to the respective person. Okay, but as of now, I'm just going to give it as all records. Okay, and who should review this? You can choose the respective user, and have done that. And upon you can also configure, once it has been assigned to that particular person, he has to review it. If he fails to review it, you can notify notification of submission for review and notification of review completion. Once the review is completed, this person, Chris Martin, will get a notification. And if the review has been rejected, he will be notified. And the review is not yet completed. The person who is supposed to do the review, he is not doing, and is taking some time. Then you can have this escalation thing, and you can give a time period within 24 hours or within some certain specific time. If that has been escalated, then it can be assigned to some other user. Okay, even that you can do it. I have already done it, so I can choose the reviewer here again. I have chosen Tom Peter, and you can also have this Tom notified here. I'm going to save it. So configure the reason for rejection. Here you can give the reasons why it is. These are the predefined values. If you want to have this edited, or if I want to add more information, you can do it, and you can click on save. All right. So in the meantime, let's see how many people have submitted the form. Okay, and I have this status active. Let me just refresh the page, and I'm going to submit this data. I hope partners, you guys took part in this small activity, filling in the form. Let's see how many people have submitted the form. Let me check that. Before that, for testing purpose, I will have this submitted from my end. I'm just going to click on submit, and the form got submitted, and it came back to the landing page. Well and good. Okay, so where you can find these set of records that needs to be reviewed. It is available under the My Jobs section. Okay, and if there is any record that needs to be reviewed, it will be listed over here. Okay, this is the one which I have already created. So I have this lead, in the web form, I have this approve lead enabled. Okay, so once I'm done with that, then only it will enter the review process. So I'm just going to approve the leads. So here I can see around wow, a lot of people. Okay, wow, everybody, a lot of people, everybody. That's it. You guys have given, like you have updated your email address. That's it. Okay, great. I have like around 100 plus people who have submitted the form. Thank you so much for being that much responsive. Thank you so much. All right. So now let me just approve all the leads. Okay. So I'm going to approve Sachit Costa. Okay, where is the option to approve the leads? Okay, let me minimize this. Okay, I have an option here. Okay, so I'm going to approve it. All right, I have approved it, and here still I have a lot of people who have at the same time. Great. Okay, so three more. Chris Legend. All right, that's you're making fun of me. Okay, let me see whether you have filled in your information. You escaped. All right. Okay, so let me approve all the records which has been submitted through the web form by my partners. Okay, Abdul Rahman, approved, approved. Okay, I'm approving them, everybody. So now this thing, okay, now, okay, Fujikawa is there. That's good to see Fujikawa. Fujikawa is he's a partner from Japan. Okay, great, done. So thank you so much. Thank you for the submission. Let me go to the approval process now, review process. Okay, so while approving each and every record, you would have noticed that you know notice a small message on the top that there is this particular record is entering the review process. So see, all those I have approved, they have entered the review process. Can you see that pending review, all people who have updated the information here. Okay, so Jean Pandya, Jean Francis Torrell, Kumar, Sinofons, Julie, Asafa, Staple, all the customers, all the partners, they have filled in. Okay, Murray, Henrietta. Yeah, that's great. So now I'm going to start approving, going to enter the review process. So let's see how it's going to look like. Okay, my CRM got stuck because of a lot of load today. That's good to test, have this tested. Let me see how this approval, this review thing is going to work. Okay, so here it comes. Okay, so here in my in my review process, I have chosen these specific fields. Correct. So what are the fields? Let me recollect that. The fields are email, company, date of birth, and phone number. All these four fields that needs to be verified, that needs to be validated. Okay. So having that aside, let me jump into my job section. I was here. Okay, let me check it. All right. So this is the one of the partners who have filled in the form. So with no company information. Okay. So here I can I have an option to approve, or I can I can reject. So no company information. I'm just going to fill in as no company information. Information. Fill it. Okay. It is not going to going to revert back to the customer. It will go it will be notified to the user. Okay, actually like the approver will, like the review process, in the review process, the reviewer will review it, and the user has to follow up with the customer, and the customer has to fill in the information again. And that for that particular process to have a proper set of validated information. Okay. So I have approved. Oh my God. You can change it. You can. I have approved it. So once it's approved, it's approved. You know, the email is good, so I'm going to approve it. Actually, I thought of rejecting that. All right, so there is no date of birth. So what I can do is no date of birth. Okay, and I'm going to reject it. Okay, the value has been rejected. And the other field is phone number. No phone number. Okay, so I'm going to reject this. And I will choose an action like data is insufficient. All right, I will click on done. Okay, now what will happen is this record is rejected. Where it will go? It will go to the records in a specific custom view. A custom view will be created automatically in review process. Okay, let me show you that. So here it what like it will happen. This is the first. This is the third and fourth time I guess it's entering this. This lead is entering into the specific custom view. Okay, so so here you will not have an option to find the lead which has been rejected. So what you have to do is you have to go click on the views. Okay, so here I will have an option leads in review. Okay, I will click on that. So all these customers, can you see that? It's been, you have this thing. So this is the one which I created. So again, it went back to the, here in the review process in this particular place. I have to go, and again I have to start the process. Okay. So what I will do is like I will fill in the information and I will submit for the for the review. Let me show that. So let me fill in the information. Company is Zogo partner. And if I click over here, I will have the information. Chris have approved it. And here I will talk to the customer through phone or email or whatever, something like that. I will fill in the information. I will update the date of birth. And if there is any other thing that needs to be approved, phone number, I will update the phone number. Click on save. And now I will submit this record for approval again. Okay, it will go for the approval. So if I go to my job section, I will have that record over there. And so out of here on the top, I have an option like out of 4 fields, how many field has been approved. So again, I will go. This has been approved. I have the phone number. Now I will approve this. Okay. And I have another 1 field that needs to be approved. That is, I guess, date of birth. Yeah. Here. I will approve it. And now the record has been reviewed. Okay. And now the record will enter the lead module. Until that, the record was in approve leads. It went to the review process. The record has been reviewed, and now is the place where the record is entering the lead module. Until that, you will not be able to find the lead in the all leads view and all. Okay. And now let's talk from the reviewer perspective. Okay. So as a reviewer, I need to get access to all the leads which are which are here for the approval. So if I go choose the leads in review, I can see all the leads. Okay, all the leads who have filled in, and okay, all the people who are back. I have them, everybody connected here. I can go one by one. So I can see this partner, Fujikawa, he's updated the phone number, he has updated the company name. So I will start approving it. If I need to add any comment, I can add so that the person, when it goes back to the salesperson, he will be, that is kind of a note for him. So he will update the information. So date of birth, Fushkua, 1974. Is that so? All right. Okay. So your visa is granted. That's it. So the record has been approved. It will move back to my lead, and the normal journey starts. Okay. So this is how the review process works. So it's very keen. You cannot miss not even a single field. You can validate the information. So now I have a clear set of data, right? I have the email address, phone number, and this is a minimal example. But if you have any complex business scenario, like there are businesses where they need very unique data. Okay, so whenever the customer comes in for such kind of requirement, you can just suggest review process. It's it's pretty much fit in most businesses like this. All right, so that's all about review process. So right now in India, the time is 8 o'clock. We will have a 10 minutes break. Please go have a cup of coffee and come back. We have another exciting feature, Zia, and we will finish off with normal features, other data administration features. And there is a bonus feature today. Based on the time frame, we will decide whether we can have that discussed or not. So this is the agenda for the rest of the day. So if you have any question, you can use the question section, and we can keep asking the questions. We have our people; they are responding to it, and we will have this finished today. In the meantime, go for a coffee and come back. We will have a 10 minutes break. Okay, it's all right, Sandip. Sandip, can you hear me?
Yeah, Chris. No, I was clicking on unmute, but clicked in response. I'm here. I'm listening to you. So yeah, that's good to go.
All right. Okay. Okay. We'll have a 10 minutes break, guys. Okay. Take care. We'll come back. Thank you. Sandip, can you hear me? Sandip, can you hear me? I'm getting some kind of noise. It's it's really robotic. The voice is really robotic. I guess. Am I clear to you? Just could you please respond me in the chat? Uh, Guys, please respond me. I'm not able to hear anything. I can hear I can hear a robotic noise.
Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Chris.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let me have a confirmation from the partner side as well. Okay. They said all good now. Now it's good. Okay. Now better now. All right. Great. Positive responses. Everything is audible. Okay. Let me just jump on to the session now. We are going to proceed with Zia. All right. So this feature, Zia, okay, it's been, it is an artificial intelligence for Zoho. We have Zia for all the products. Okay. So it's like Siri and it's like Google Assistant. For likewise for Zoho, it's Zia. So let me jump on to the slide. So I have here. Okay. All right. So to uh, to have everything tested in Zia, first of all, you should have a lot of data. All right, having all the automation and having all kind of advanced and like developer level features, everything, having everything configured. When it comes to artificial intelligence, it is something different level, right? So you have to say something, the action will be performed. So on that note, we have, we came up with this artificial intelligence here, and we have done a lot of work and R&D for, Zoho have invested a lot of R&D and investment in Zia, and we came up with a lot of different features. The sad part is, I can show you to an extent because I don't have that much of data in my CRM. Okay, but not to worry. Someday I will have a collection of data and I will definitely show a complete overview for Zia. But as of now, I would like to know, let you know, guys, that what are the advancement and what are the existing features we have under Zia. Okay, so I will have, I'm good. I'm just going to play a quick video so that you can, I'm just going to, the video will be there, and I'm just going to do the, I'm just going to give the voiceover. All right, just follow the video so you can understand certain, hope you will understand. So let me just play this. So here it goes. So here I have a salesperson who is getting ready for the client visit. Okay, so he's just dropping a note like I'm out of the office, and he's moving forward, and hopefully we'll get a cab, I guess. Yes, he got a cab now, and he's going to the client place. So when he's on the way to the client place, and he's a salesperson, he's getting a text, he's getting a mail. He's getting a mail from one of the customer that he says, "I need 10 new service." Okay, and this guy, he just we have this feature and they're asking how many servers are available in stock, and Zia says we have like around 10 servers. Okay, and he's trying to call the customer who asked for the server, and he's talking to the customer, Andrew. He's just telling that call Andrew Smith, and he's having a conversation. He's getting a confirmation whether you definitely need or when you need, and he says like I need it by Friday. Okay, and and he says like definitely I will do that, and he's asking Zia, can you just book an order for 10 servers on this Friday on this particular address. And Zia says already there are 24 servers that needs to be delivered on that particular date. Do you still want it to be delivered? And he said, the salesperson is just having a conversation. Yes. And Zia says, no worries, that will be delivered. And now the mode of okay, and he's going to choose one option, and he wanted that to be delivered, and he wanted that to be associated with the user, and he's going to send in a confirmation also. Okay, everything, all these things. Okay, he don't have his laptop. He's not trying to access his CRM by using this Zia feature. Okay, he's just having a conversation, and the work is done. Okay, by the time he reaches the client place, okay, everything is done. So that's how advancement we have in Zia. Okay, so Zia it's a kind of a next level of conversational artificial intelligence for the sales team that we have built inside the Zogo CRM. Okay, and this Zia is available across all the products. Okay, any product you take, we have this touch of Zia, and if you have a huge set of data, and what the Zia will do is like it is an inbuilt artificial intelligence in the system where it will be keep on monitoring how the data flow and how you're working. Okay, the Zia will give suggestions, and automatically things happen. So you can like much more a next level of smartness in your business. It will reduce a lot of time and effort, and it's completely portable. All right. So so that is having said. Hope it would have helped you somewhere. Okay, so let me just jump back to the next slide here. Okay, so here it is, the features which are available in Zia. So these are something that Zia can do. Okay, some things you can ask Zia inside your Zoho CRM itself. Okay, you can get the number of deals that has been created in the last week. So how it's going to be really helpful is like you don't want to create a view or you don't want a dashboard or something like that. Just ask Zia. If you need if you need to go through some information, okay, just like that, you can use this feature. Okay, the revenue for the month, and if the vendors have the vendors versus the purchases, you can see that how many leads has been created this month. Still you have the reports and dashboard, everything, but still for an overview, let's think from a CEO point of view. We cannot judge that all the CEOs are very much keen and very much into the reports. They they some rough information about the business, how well it is going on the go. And in such cases, we are like feature are like way out of the box, and they are like very extremely useful. So you can see the upcoming events. Even for the salesperson, if he wants to be very updated, he can just ask Zia what are the upcoming events. So it will give you a set of list. What are the upcoming events, and if there is any open activities, it will give you the open activities, all based on the person who is initiating it. Okay, and what are the Zia skills we have is like Zia skills are like you can create a task. Okay, instead of going to the task module and creating a task and choosing the module. Instead, you can just ask Zia to create a task, and you can create a record. So you will have a conversation. If you type in and ask create a record, it will ask in which module. Okay, and likewise, that's how it's going to be. Okay, and if you want to convert a lead, okay, it will ask which particular lead you wanted to convert. So that's how it goes with Zia. And if you want to call a customer, you can just type in and say call a customer, and it will ask which customer. And if you want to add a note, so these are the skills of skill set of Zia, which are already integrated with CRM, and this is the place it is available. So you can just let me just refresh the page. I go back to my home page. In the meantime, if there is any updates that I need to check. Okay, everything is good. All right, now I'm going to ask Zia. Okay, either you can type in here. Okay, like open activities or anything like that. These are the things which I have tried before, and definitely there are some like some errors too. So for that particular thing, to be followed up. Okay, just hold on a second. There is a bug. Not in the not in the application on my table. All right. Okay, we are good. So what you have to do is like I have this predefined questions here. Okay, so still if you type in and if you ask Zia, it will let you know the results. But still, for better understanding, for to get used to this, we have this particular button where it will just if you click on it, it will it will okay. See, I clicked on create task, so it's asking what task you like say like leads, and it will asking which customer would you like to update. So here um, I updated one customer information yesterday, I guess. So I think Bill. I'll just put in Bill in here. So it will search for all the records which is associated with the name Bill. Okay, so what I will do is like I will choose the one which I need and I will submit. Okay, and it is a due date. Okay, so I will give the due date like 3 5 to okay, that is the due date for the task. And Zia said successfully I have added the task. Instead of going into the task module and choosing the customer information, typing in a lot of just I can avoid all those information, like all those steps. It's very easy. Okay, so we need to take a proof of this. Okay, let's search for Dr. Bill. Okay, where is Mr. Dr. Bill? We search in the global search. There is no such records. Fantastic. We search for Quinn Bill. Yeah, there we go. We got it. So now I go to the open activities, and here it comes, right? So I created a follow-up task. So this is how it works. Okay. So that is one specific skill of Zia. Okay. Likewise, you can go ahead and you can further drill down. These are the skills. You can create even task, lead, deal stage. Likewise, and if you want to check the revenue for this month and the upcoming events, it will feed in some information. If information, it will let you know the information. If there are no results, this is how I get. This is how I end up with nothing. All right. So what I can go is like leads created today. So today we created some leads. Let's see how it shows. Okay, it worked, right? So we this lead through web form, and this is the one for C3 testing. We did it, and this is the lead which I created for testing purpose. So it works fine. So this is how efficient, okay, Zia is. So In 2020 feature, we have like around 4+ ZIA features which are about to, we are it's already in testing phase, and uh, you know, uh, all those features, for ZIA are pretty much in next level. In that, I have handpicked one specific feature. Okay, so that is, ZIA uh, record ownership suggestion. Okay, so in assignment rules, actually, this ZIA record ownership suggestion under assignment rules, we have this ZIA in. So what will happen is Zia will watch, like it will be monitoring the pattern of your work, all right? So how you are assigning the records to different, salesperson. It will be, monitoring around a set of 1,000 records, and it will suggestion. It will give you suggestions. Okay, when you're creating an assignment rule, it will give you a suggestion like instead of having this assignment rule, you can go with Zia's suggestion and you can directly use the, you can directly pick the user. Okay, so that is also again saves time instead of investing and thinking to whom I should assign, to whom will be available. Based on all those information, everything is done in the back end by the artificial intelligence. So that's how efficient and effectively you can use it. So it is a magnificent feature in Zogo. Nearly, this is going to be very big feature for Zogo because no product in the market have this kind of feature for all the products, all the services across Zogo. Okay, so we have that, and